Hey everybody, long time no see. I'm here with another video for you of a pretty new game, just came out of beta, called Battlefleet Gothic Armada. Now this isn't going to be my typical kind of short video where I describe a game. This is actually me in an online match against a random opponent, and I'll be giving you my thoughts on the game as well as some commentary on the, I guess, match. So I'm up against an Imperial fleet. I'm playing as Chaos, and these are my ships here. So, overall impressions, this game's pretty fun. It was intimidating at first. I booted it up when it was still in beta, and I looked at it for maybe 5 or 10 minutes. Didn't know what was going on, didn't give it really much time because I didn't have time, and I put it out of my mind. But the other day, I popped back in again, and decided to give it my full attention, and boy, it's an addictive game. I played from, I want to say 9 in the morning until 9:30, 10:30 at night, maybe later than that. I think I went to 1 in the morning. I had a couple of breaks in there, but only for kind of cooking and shit. Alright, so you see I deployed in the bottom left there. Those little blips, those red blips, are kind of engine readings of my opponent and his fleet. So you don't know what those are. I've launched a probe, which is that thing that's flying over towards them, that little ripple-y thing. So I'd only played as Imperial ships the entire time when I did that really long play session the other day, and those are the only ships I really know. So I haven't played. There's other factions. There's Eldar, there's Orcs, and there's Chaos, of course. And all their ships are very different, and each playstyle of each race is very different. And you can choose a whole bunch of different ships and classes and upgrades and weaponry and all that. It's like a light RPG in a way, because the more you play, the more your ships get experience individually. And from there you can choose different effects that has on your crew, your captain, different upgrades to your ships, and things like that. So anyway, what's happened here, I've identified with my 2 light cruisers a little escort ship. Looks like a frigate of some kind, and I missed the other 2 with my probe. So what I'm trying to do here is keep distance, because Chaos is better at range than the Imperials are. And so I'm going to try to kind of do ring around the rosy on this asteroid field, which is in front of me. You take damage, of course, driving through an asteroid field. And since I have slightly better range and slightly better speed, I'm going to try to make use of the obstacles between us, and then keep using, I'm launching bombers right now at his little escort ship. I see some missiles coming out in the top right corner there towards me from that little blip, so I know he's got a light cruiser up there. You get to know these things as you see ships and different things. So the blue bar above these ships are shields, and I completely nullified his shields for that ship. They can recharge though, and then the green bars are health bars. So you can see those bombers wreaked some havoc on his little escort. I'm launching another probe to see if I can identify those 2 other ships. Lo and behold, Light Cruiser 1 and Light Cruiser 2, known as Dauntless class. Let's see, are those both? One's Dauntless and one's Dauntless Mark II. One has missiles and one has lances, and then both have macro cannons, which are just solid projectile. So they're slower, like I said, than the Chaos ships, and Chaos and Imperials are both very effective at their broadside combat versus straight on. I mean, they have some straight on weapons, but it's very much, think, classic naval engagements where you're firing off the sides of ships and what have you. So I'm not sure what exactly he's doing here. I thought he was going to pursue me, then I'd do a ring around this asteroid field and hit him from behind, but or just keep hitting him from the side out of slightly farther away range. And then I also have the benefit of having bombers, which the Imperial ships at this scale of, or this class of ship, don't have access to. So I have a big advantage there. What you'll see I've been doing there is increasing my speed. Both Imperials and Chaos ships have this ability. You can go full ahead full, which makes you go, I'm not sure what, I think it's double your speed, yeah, almost nearly double. I think it's like 180% of your speed. And then you can do high power turn or something like that. I forget the technical term, but it allows you to use up some of your kind of fuel bar there in order to turn kind of on a dime. That's that little yellow gauge, yellowy orange gauge there next to that picture of the Chaos dudes who are my captains. So that can, once that gets all the way down, it refills. If you use it all up, you have to wait for it to completely recharge in order for you to use it again. Otherwise, it just recharges like normal. You can use it whenever. So this guy's trying to hide in that little gas cloud to the left there. That obscures your sights on ships, but I'm just going to fire another probe in. And I'm not able to launch bombers at unidentified blips, so it's a bit of an advantage for him, and I need to get sight to his stuff, so as soon as I get those, launch more bombers out. And let's see. As far as the HUD's concerned, bottom left, mini-map, of course. In the middle, you're going to get whatever ship is selected. And then on the bottom right, you have different orders. The top row, you have, let's see, reload, which reloads your broadside bombardments faster. You have lock on, which is that second one, which gives you greater accuracy. Then you have brace for impact, then run silent. Those are kind of self-explanatory. You take less damage. Oh, here I'm going to try to ram his ship with mine because it's much bigger, and you'll see some damage. Look at that. Almost killed it. I thought I killed it outright, but I did not, sadly. Oh, one really cool feature that allows you to kind of think, since this is real time. If you hit the space bar, you get into something called Tactical Cogitator, which is that kind of bullet time slow-mo mode. And it allows you to make snap decisions. You can use it without limits in the campaign and solo modes, but in online, well, I don't know the exact specifics. I've only played maybe 10 games online, but it doesn't happen every time you try, and I haven't seen an indicator that shows it like, you know, like a usage bar or something. So I don't know, but it's maybe 80% of the time it works. Let's see, he's fired some torpedoes at me. Down below, I'm going to easily escape that. I'm trying to get across the minefield, or the asteroids again. Now he's driving right into it, as you'll see, and notice how his ships start taking damage. He should have been more careful with that. I'm just going to keep creating space. Oh, one other key thing. So underneath those orders, you see that little lightning bolt and the crossed swords on the bottom right. The lightning bolt is a deep strike action where you teleport your troops onto the enemy ship, but you need to have lowered the ship's shields in order to do that. And then boarding action, you have to be, the cross swords, you have to be much closer to the ship, like 2 or 3 times as close, a third the distance as you would for a deep strike. But you can do that via kind of like assault pods or whatever. And yeah, you don't care about shields. Let's see. You can upgrade some things. So when you board an opponent's vessel, it's like essentially your boarding troops are trying to fight off and damage their system. So they'll set fire to the ship that might break their engines or weapons or any number of things. And you can set on each enemy ship when you click on them which particular item you want your both boarding troops and your naval craft to focus on. So you can say like, all right, I want to disable all their engines so I have, you know, mobility, like I have the upper hand in mobility wise. Then you can do that. Or let's say you want to get rid of their weapons or get rid of their ability to have shields up. You know, you can target those different areas. Let's see, so he left his little frigate exposed here down the bottom to recover. So since I'm a lot faster than his ships, I'm going to run down here and pick it off while it's flying solo. And this is not a fair fight, as you can plainly see. It's running for his life, but just because I don't want it to escape with just a sliver of health again, I'm going to send both bomber squadrons after it. You can see those little red lines flying out over to it, those little bombers. And there he goes. Kaboom. So, both of his ships have taken between a third and half damage. That little red blinky thing is a plasma bomb. You can get certain upgrades, and it depends on your playstyle. You can have stasis bombs, which slow your opponent's ships down to a crawl, as well as their munitions for a certain amount of time in a blast radius. Plasma bomb just deals damage. You can have anti-shield bombs. You can have something which makes your own void shields impenetrable for 10 seconds. Another that recharges them at 150% capacity. or recharge rate, I should say. A couple other things, you can force enemy ships to target your ship that taunts it, like a taunt is a special ability, different things like that. And it allows you, there's a good number of options, I want to say, let's see, probably like 10 or 12. And it allows you to make some really unique playstyles. You can either have an entire fleet that does one thing well if you want to outfit everything kind of the same, or if you want to make a fleet with a bunch of specialist ships that each has its own job, you can do that. So you can have one ship that's really high armor and is really good at getting in close and like doing boarding actions. Or you can have other ships that are really good at speed and maneuvering, others that have just really high shields, or in any combination therein. A couple other upgrade options too. Again, I've only played Imperials and Chaos so far, so I don't know about the other races yet, but at least for Imperials and Chaos, you can choose either a favor or a patron, depending. Like Imperials have a favor, like Adeptus Mechanicus or Space Marines or Inquisition, whatnot, and those give different effects to your ships and bonuses. Likewise, Chaos, you can choose different marks, like favors of the Chaos Gods, Khorne, Tzeentch, Nurgle, Slaanesh, all that good stuff. So I wrecked one of his ships. Now, there's morale in this game, so if you start losing ships too quickly, or a ship takes really heavy damage, there's a chance that the captain can mutiny and rebel and try to warp out and all that good stuff. So you can either execute the captain to stay in the fight, or let your ship leave. And a lot of times it's good to let your ships leave, because you have to pay for them to get repaired or wait. So I'm going to try to finish him off in kind of a stylish way here. So there is ramming in this game. That's one thing I neglected to mention. As you'll see here. I won't describe it, I'll just let you watch and figure it out.
Forward to the slaughter. Cruising speed set.
So as you'll see, he's not quite dead, but
Just show us something to kill.
I don't want him exactly escaping, because you get more points if you kill the ship versus it running away.
For the dark gods.
So let's see if we can't deal the final blow here.
Moving to those coordinates.
Let's get a little cinematic, shall we?
We'll follow your command for now. Cruising speed set.
And that's that. So that's pretty much Battlefleet Gothic, at least from the Chaos perspective, and a general overview. I could do some videos on other races eventually when I get around to playing them, but we'll see. So far, though, I'm really enjoying it. There's a lot of different types of ships that you didn't see. This is a smaller match, but yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. There's a campaign, there's online, and not only 1v1 online, but 2v2, so you can get friends to hop in and you two can play together against two opponents. So, yeah, till next time.